Hey there everyone, Mike here, coming at you from Badlands Paintball. Well, thanks to all our fans who've been sending in a number of comments, requests on both our Facebook and YouTube channels. Makes things really easy for me because recently a few of you have asked to check out the R7 Mini. You wanted me to do a review of the R7 Mini, and that's what I've got right in front of me here. This is the R7 Replay Mini. So it's a smaller variant of the original Replay. The Replay is actually a hugely successful camera for all sorts of different extreme sports, but in paintball it really shines, and it's largely to do with its design and the way it mounts. And this new R7 Mini mounts in an even better way and is significantly smaller, 30% smaller and 30% lighter, while still maintaining 1080p resolution, which is really cool. So we're going to take a look at this R7 Mini here. I'm going to peel it open, show you what's going on the inside, and I'll show you how to mount it to individual paintball guns too. And we'll talk about the 3 different variants that it comes in as well, because there is 3 different styles of R7 Mini you're going to want to check out, so you're going to want to make sure you get the right one. So come on in here a little bit closer, we'll open this baby up, show you what's going on the inside. Okay everyone, so inside this nifty box here you're going to find a few different items. I've actually got one already open here. This is actually Will's R7 Mini that I've used at It Feels Like PRZ before. You've seen some gameplay out there. So you're going to get this soft case here, which has everything that you need inside. You are going to get your manual, but you're also going to, in a separate baggie, get your individual mounts. Now, I said earlier that there are 3 different variants of the R7 Mini, and these mounts are where you're going to get the different variants. So the R7 Mini and all the extra accessories that it comes with are going to be the same regardless of which of the 3 that you choose, but it's the mount that changes. So this particular R7 Mini uses the Eclipse mount. Now, Eclipse is a very unique feed neck, and if you've ever seen the R7 Minis before, they actually mount to the feed neck of the paintball gun itself. And because the Planet Eclipse feed neck is so unique, it does require its own mount. Now, the other 2 variants of the R7 Mini that you're going to find are going to use a standard feed neck mount. That's going to fit on Bob Long markers, for example, and a myriad of other versions. And the 3rd variant is going to be a Picatinny mount, or a weaver rail mount. Now, that one's great because it's going to be perfect for mounting on all of your tactical markers. Pretty well anywhere you have a weaver rail, it's going to mount directly to that. So that weaver rail is the same type of rail you'll find for mounting red dots, scopes, grips, all that jazz. So really perfect for any airsoft player or a milsim paintball player that's looking to capture some really cool gun cam footage. So in any case, that's going to be the Eclipse mount. That's what we have in front of us here, and I'm going to actually show you guys how to mount an Eclipse gun in a second. But first, let's take a look at what you get with the R7 Mini. So for starters, a really great manual. This is going to show you how to charge it, plug it into your computer, all the different settings, how to mount it on individual platforms, whether or not it's a helmet, whether or not it's your paintball gun. There really are a lot of options in terms of mounting. Alright, so let's take a look what's going on inside of this case here. Very nice soft case, rugged material on the top there while still being nice and soft. You do have a clip there to be able to mount to any of your bags or luggage, whatever you might be carrying. It does use a zipper design here to open up. Now you do have pockets on the top here to use if you like. It looks like Will's just throwing everything in this main pocket. Lots of space in this thing. Right on top here, we do have our mini USB cable. So this is really nice. The Mini's that much more universal with a lot of other cameras, phones, things like that. So that's a huge upgrade from the original R7, which had its own custom variant. Not nearly as universal. So very nice that they made it that much more universal. Makes it easier to work with. So you do get that mini USB cable. Very nice. And we have a number of mounting options. The R7 Mini here itself actually comes in a very nice case here. We'll set that off to the side until we're ready to talk about that. But again, yes, a number of mounting options, okay? Now let's pull them all out here. And Will's actual feed neck mount. So in terms of mounting, you have a few different options. One, you're going to have a flat surface mount. So this is a sticky surface, flat. You can mount it to any flat surface out there. And then we have a curved variant as well too, with its separate sticky mount. So this curved version is going to be really nice for helmets, whether or not it's a tactical helmet, motorcycle helmet, whatever you might have. That curved surface is going to be great for that, and the flat surface to go along with it. Then you have 2 other mounts that actually clip directly into these. So you can see, I slide this on, and it snaps into place. Now this particular mount fully covers the R7 Mini in a stable standard spot. So if you've got something with a lot of vibration, for example, you might want to use this style of mount, because the other mount here is actually a pivot variant. So if you've got a lot of heavy torque and movement, this one might shift, but this is really great because you can mount it, for example, to this curved variant, mount that to your helmet, and then pivot it to the position that you want to have specifically. So this one's really nice with that pivot. I definitely appreciate that, and it will snap on and off really easily just by removing that cam lock. So we can actually loosen that up and make it that much more easy to pivot, or tighten it up and make it very, very stable. And then just by pressing on the back here, there's a little push button, press that, and you can push the entire platform right back out again, just like so. So that's really nice because you can have the camera, for example, mounted to your curved surface, and then you can switch it off, pull it out, and mount it to the flat surface instead, really easily on the fly. So definitely like that you get those two different mounts, the two different sticky pads as well too. So shift all those off to the side. Then Will's actual Eclipse mount, you can see here, so it comes in two different pieces. You got the part that actually the camera threads into, and the part that mounts to the feed neck itself. Those are held together by a silver screw. This actually gives you some room to breathe, some room for adjustment. You can shift this, the part that the camera actually threads into, up and down, and then tighten it down in the position that you want to. So once it's actually on your paintball gun, you can raise it, lower it, put it in whatever position that you might like. I'll show you guys actually how to mount that in just a minute. The other thing that this camera does come with is a micro SD card along with the adapter. This is huge. With some other cameras, you actually have to buy a micro SD separately, so it's great that R7 sends this out for you right out of the box. And this is a 4 GB card. That's going to get you a pretty decent amount of footage, but if you're looking for heavy amounts, you may want to upgrade. I believe Will's actually gone ahead and got himself a 32 gig just in case, but one way or another, 4 GB, very cool. They actually give you a micro SD right out of the box. So let's shift that all over to the side, and we'll actually take a look at the camera itself now. So right off the bat, if you've used other action sports cameras or even the other original R7 Replay, you're going to notice that this camera is tiny. So small, really low profile, really rugged. This thing is incredibly water resistant, impact resistant for paintballs as well too. That's going to be a big deal. This can take paintball hits. It's rated for it, which is very cool. Easy to use controls, the power button in the front and the play button in the back. You will actually get an LED light and some vibration out of it when you turn it on. Let's hold it down here for a second. Once it vibrates, it gives me kind of 3 pulses, let me know that it's on, and we do have a blue LED showing me that this is on as well. Now the play button is actually in the back. Hold that down. 3 pulses again, and we get a red power button. So you know what? This camera actually has on a full charge around 130 minutes that it can be running for, and that's at 1080p resolution. 130 minutes is just over 2 hours. You might say to yourself, hey, you know, I'm at the field for 8 hours. How am I going to get all that gameplay footage? Well, you know what? One way or another, when you're sitting eating your french fries or you're walking off the field, don't be filming in that regard, right? You can easily stop recording just by holding it down there, and you can power off just by holding it down, just like that. So you power down, walk back. When you come back out onto the field for some action, that's when you can turn it back on, just like so. Press play. Oh, make sure you press it. There we go. Press play, power comes on, you're good to go. So you don't want to be always recording with this thing. You are going to want to power it down and power it up depending on the situation. But very cool that you do have that vibration and the LED to let you know what's going on. So I'll power that down the whole way. Oh, I have to make sure I stop recording, and then power down, and you do get that vibration to let you know that it's powering down too. So very cool. Now another neat feature they've added is behind this back cap, you can actually quickly and easily on the fly switch between your 1080p setting and your 720 setting. I really like this, just makes it that much easier to pick and choose what you want to be playing with. And then you do have the slot for your micro SD up in the top there. That's where Will's got his 32 gigabyte SD card, so very nice, snaps into place. Now this camera now, another big change with the R7 Mini compared to the original R7 Replay is how it mounts. So besides the flat mounts there, as I said before, you do have your feed neck mount. The original feed neck mount actually had a clamp that came out around the side and clamped to the R7 itself. Problem with this was it was a little bit larger profile and also had a tendency to shift a little bit easier as well too, unless you really tighten it down on the camera. This new variant, so much lower profile, actually allows you to thread the camera directly into the mount itself. So it essentially replaces the back cap for your camera. Very cool design, because now you don't have anything coming out to the sides. Extremely low profile. And that just goes along with a 30% smaller profile. Now they've actually made the mount that much smaller too. So once you have it mounted on there, now you can stick it onto your paintball gun. Let me show you how to do that. We've actually got an Ego LV1 here. I'll show you how to mount this R7 Mini. Alright, so I have my Ego LV1 in front of me here. The first thing that we're going to want to do is remove the clamping section of this feed neck, because this is actually going to replace that altogether. So we'll remove that just by threading it all the way off here. Perfect. And stick that right off to the side. At that point, we can bring in our R7, which I'll have to loosen off as well too. Bring in this R7 mount. Have to remove the screw entirely before sticking it onto the paintball gun. Bear with me here, doing it left-handed. There we go. So we've removed that, and at that point, our R7 Mini just slides in right on top of the original. So you can see, just like so, clamps there, and now I can bring in my screw again and feed that right through where the original feed neck went. So again, this replaces your feed neck, or replaces your feed neck clamp, I should say. So you don't have any strange pieces coming around off the side. Everything is really low profile. We'll tighten that up, make sure it's in nice and secure there. Just like so. So that's actually going to clamp down your hopper as well too. So really cool design in that regard. And you can see here, if this is a little bit too tight to the barrel, which in this case I don't think it is, you can actually shift that up, or you can shift it right back down again. Now one thing you're going to have to watch out for, guys, as you can see on this variant here right now, is I've got it slightly angled to the left here. That means you're going to want to loosen up our feed neck here and actually shift the feed neck itself over a little bit more, just to make sure it's nice and straight. But one way or another, you're going to have a really clean line of sight down the top of that gun. Absolutely love that. So when you're lined up, you're not even going to see this camera. You're going to be essentially seeing through it, seeing past it, and it's going to be looking right down the barrel of your gun, watching everybody walk off the field and you're shooting them. So great camera, really cool way it mounts, 1080p quality, and a ridiculously low profile, water resistant, paint resistant design. Absolutely love this R7 Mini, use it myself, and I like to think I've captured some pretty cool footage with it already. Alright everyone, hopefully this has given you a really good look at the R7 Mini. Just a great camera for really any extreme sport, but especially for paintball. And now that it comes in a few different variants, you're going to be able to mount it easily on your milsim gun, speedball gun, whichever you prefer. So if you do want to see the R7 Mini, we do have it in all of our 8 locations across Canada, so you can definitely check it out in there. Or of course you can see it at www.badlandspaintball.com. It's going to be our main online store, so you're going to have all 3 variants right there ready for you to see. Make sure you do, again, buy the correct variant for your style of paintball gun. I know I went over it, but make sure you double check, okay? Now if you do have any questions regarding the R7 Mini, you can check us out at Facebook, or of course we're on Twitter now too. And if you do want to see any cool pictures, actually some taken with the R7 Mini, you can check that out on our Instagram page at Badlands PB. So make sure you're checking out all those places. Now, the comments that we received on our YouTube channel are how we actually decided to do this video. So make sure you are commenting below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button down there. Show me some love, that would be great. But you know what? It is all about the comments. This is the most important thing I want to see. Make sure you guys are commenting. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see in the future. But you know, besides commenting, the true most important thing to me is actually seeing you guys in the field. So get a paintball mask on your face, get a paintball gun in your hands, and go on out there and play some paintball, everyone. See you later.